Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to be drafting the princess dart, and I have two pattern papers for the front and the back, so let's get started. So for the front, I'm going to be using the edges as my starting point, and I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to start marking out my points. So first thing we're going to do is that I'm going to take out the vertical measurements. I'm going to be marking out my half length. My half length is 15 inches and I'll be adding 2 inches allowance. So I'll mark out 15 inches and 2 inches, that's 17. And then I'll mark out my bust point at 10 inches. Okay, so guys, that's it. And the next thing we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be ruling out these lines. Okay, so I've gone ahead to rule out the lines and I'm going to label it as my bust point, my half length, and then my allowance. Okay, if you remember, we added 2 inches allowance down there. And then guys, I'm going to highlight this with a thicker marker so you can see it clearly. My half length, bust point, and allowance. Okay, next thing we're going to be doing right now is to mark out the shoulder. Okay, so for my shoulder is 15 inches, and 15 inches divided by 2 gives me 7.5. Okay, so right there I'm going to be adding half an inch and I'm going to mark it at 8 inches instead of 7.5. Okay, so guys, I'm going to come down by 7.5. Okay, I'm going to come down by 7.5 and I'm going to rule that line, and that's going to be my armhole depth and also my chest line. Okay, it's going to serve as both my armhole depth and my chest line. So guys, next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to come down my chest line and I'm going to mark out the 8 inches I have at my shoulder line, and I'm going to use my ruler to connect these 2 points together. Okay, so guys, after connecting it, the next thing you want to do is to mark out your neck. And for my neck depth, I'm going to be using 3.5 inches by 3.5. So for the neck depth is 3.5, and for the neck width also I'll be making use of 3.5. Okay, so just go ahead and mark out 3.5 on the neck width, and on the neck depth mark out 3.5. Depending on your preference, you could use 4, whatever you want, and I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect the 2 points together. Okay, so go ahead and connect it together just like this. Okay guys, so next thing we're going to be doing right now is on the armhole line, you're going to come down by 1 inch at the shoulder, and then you're going to slope that into the neckline. Okay, so you're just going to take a slant into the neckline, and that's going to serve as your shoulder slope. Next thing we're going to go ahead to do right now is from your bust point, you're going to come in by 3.5 inches. That is how wide the dart is going to be. Okay, so you're going to come in by 3.5 inches and you're going to take it all the way down. That's how wide I want my darts to be. So if you want your dart to be 4 inches, depending on what you want, you could go ahead and mark that. And to derive this, you're going to take your nipple to nipple divided by 2. So my nipple to nipple is 6 inches, and I added 1 inch for allowance, divided by 2, that's 3.5. That's how I got it. And then on the armhole line, you want to come divide it by 2, and you're going to look at the midpoint right there. The midpoint I have is 3.25, and you're going to come in by half an inch. This is to derive your armhole curve. So I'm going to come in by half an inch right there, and then I'm going to mark out my bust divided by 4. My bust is 40 divided by 4, that gives me 10 inches. And I'm going to mark that and connect the 3 points together all the way to my shoulder to give me my armhole curve. So guys, this is what we have. Next thing we're going to be doing right now is to come down and curve the princess curve. Okay, so from the midpoint of your armhole you're going to curve it to your bust point. So just make a curve as you see me doing, just like that, and there you have it. That's your princess dart. Okay, I'm going to curve out the bust point area in order for it to be curved and not sharp. So guys, that's what we have, and this is your princess dart. I'm going to extend the princess dart by 1 inch. This is to enable that, just to ensure that when I join it I do not have shortage at the armhole area, and just going to extend that, and I'm going to recurve my armhole curve. I'm going to take my armhole curve again, so just watch what I'm doing. From the extension you're just going to curve that into your armhole. Okay, that's it. So there you have it guys. Next thing we're going to do is to mark out our measurements, and my bust is 40 divided by 4, that gives me 10 inches. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 inches to this. Okay, so I'm going to add 3 inches. The person I'm working with is Plumpy, is a plus size, so I'm working with a plus size and I do not want to have shortage of allowance, so I added 3 inches. So you can go ahead to add whatever amount of allowance you want. For my waist is 38 divided by 4, 9.5 plus 3 inches, and there you have it. I just added 3 inches, and I'm going to connect this point together. So guys, use your ruler to connect it, and guys, that's it. Next thing we're going to go ahead to do is to label this out. I have my center front right there, and I also have my side front. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so you guys just take your scissors and cut this out. I also did not fold my pattern paper into two, but when you're cutting on your fabric, ensure you fold. So guys, this is what we have, and don't forget to cut this on fold on your fabric. Okay, so in your fabric you cut it on fold. Next thing we're going to do right now is to be cutting out the back piece. Okay, so I have my pattern laid out, and I'm going to mark out 2 inches for zipper allowance, and then I'm going to mark out the 17 inches for my half length. So I have 15 inches for my half length and 2 inches allowance, that gave me 17, and I'm just going to rule that out at 17 inches. And then I'm going to go ahead and rule out the 2 inches I added for zipper allowance. So just rule that all the way down to the 17 inches point. And guys, here you have it. I'm going to mark out my zipper allowance. The 2 inches I added is going to serve as my zipper allowance. Next thing we're going to do guys, the front piece that we marked, that we've cut out, we're just going to place this on the back. Okay, I'm just going to place it on the back, and I'm going to use a masking tape to hold it in place. Okay, so guys, just use a masking tape to hold it in place. Place it carefully. If you're cutting directly on your fabric, just place the front on the back and cut it out. That's exactly what I'm doing here. So if you cut your front piece, you just place it on the back. So guys, instead of using a dart or a dart at the back, just use the princess cuts that you already have for the front. And after placing it out, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, And the only difference I'm going to be having is at the back neckline, and that's because I want the back neckline to be higher than the front. So for the back, I'm making use of 2 inches by 3.5. So I'm going to mark out at 2 inches and 3.5 inches where my front neckline starts. And guys, I'm going to go ahead right now and curve this out. So guys, this is me curving it out, and I'm going to extend the curve into my zipper allowance. I'm going to extend the curve into my zipper allowance, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to cut this out. I'm just going to cut it out. So guys, this is what we have, and to remove the bulge at the back, I'm going to come up by 1 inch at the zipper allowance, and I'm going to slant this into my waist. Okay, so just watch what I'm doing, and you're going to slant this into your waist. So guys, this is what we have, and I'm going to cut this part out. I'm going to take this part out. So just go ahead and use your scissors to cut it out. So guys, this is what we have for the back, and that is my center back and my side back. Don't forget to cut and fold, and this is what we have, guys. So we're going to go ahead and cut this out on our fabric. This is the pattern for the front and for the back. Okay, and right now we're going to go ahead and cut it out on the fabric. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go ahead to fold my fabric into 2, and after folding your fabric into 2, you want to place from the midpoint. You're going to flip it over, just as you see me doing. Turn it like this and place it on your fabric, and you're going to go ahead and use something to hold this down, and then you're going to do it for the side. Okay, just like this. Just watch what I'm doing, and you're going to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, that's how to place on your fabric. And don't forget, I folded my fabric into 2. And for the back, you're going to increase the fabric because of the zipper allowance. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and place it the same way I placed the front. From the middle, you're going to flip it over and place it. So guys, just place it and use something to hold it down like this, and this is what you have after placing. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So guys, this is what we have after cutting, and this is what the back is looking like. Next thing we're going to do is to slash out the back, the mid back. So ensure that you slash the middle of your back like this. You can also go ahead and notch the zipper. So guys, this is what we have. This is what your princess dart ought to look like, and that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.